Hello and welcome. I am on the webpage Poloniex, POLONIEX.com, and this might be an interesting site for. It looks like you could, I guess, trade. I don't even, maybe even microscopically, let alone microscopically, or any stakes in which you choose. I'm looking at a whole bunch of ones, and I'm thinking to myself, is it worth putting an order in to buy at around 24.36, and I need to find better charts if I'm going to do this, because these charts they offer are not good. They're average at best. Well, within this chart here, this one looks like it's going to break down on the short-term time frame. It's BELA / BTC. There's the code right here. And I've been looking at a lot of these indexes. I've looked at every single one of these and a few above. I still got a bunch more to look through, and there's not too many more. But this is one of the more impressive ones. A lot of these stocks are, or whatever I want to call it, are dead. When I look at this on the 1 day chart and expand this out, this is how well this has outperformed Bitcoin. This is going back to June of last year. So I'm looking. This is like the most beautiful one I've seen of all of them, and it's looking like it's in a good pattern now. It's something I want to look at even on a breakout right now, breaking above this level, going long, and I probably will. But you can see all these higher lows that have come in, and I got this 18 average band. I can shorten out the time frame, which I'm going to do. But you see, just with a simple 18 period average, how it's been supporting it for so long. What might be ideal is calculate the 61.8% down Fibonacci from this high and this low, which maybe even try to get greedy. Previous resistance in at 25.30. And what I like about this, it's for an exchange fee, they say it's 0.15%. That's like nothing if you make the order, which is smart strategy, and 0.25% if you take the order, which is, I think, rare for it to be smart. But I do like this possible uptrend. I'm going to go through some of the other notes that I have written for myself so far. This is uh, so Dash was the most common one. I went to Dash, Litecoin, Ether, however you pronounce it, the ones that I've heard of. I mean, you talk about some dead charts, some of them in there. This is the Dash chart, and I'm going to go over why I like this number. I looked at it for about maybe 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, but I'm looking at 16343, which is roughly about here. So I'm looking, I'm looking for a retracement back to this resistance, yeah. And Fibonacci's that's a Fibonacci number, by the way. So that's why I go to 1634. An area you would look to buy. No sense of putting out a order in at this stage when it's not even close to activating. The next one, which would be XMR, which is apparently really common. I've never heard of it. Uh, I can't find it. I don't even know how to search for it on here. I'm just new to this site. XMR. Where would I find that? Right here. Okay, right here. And we got 10363. So we're looking at down here. Let's span this out. Okay, well, in this type of chart, just looking at it again, it's definitely not a buying spot given that it's in a declining period. So this is a key Fibonacci number. That's what this has to be. That's why I'd write this down. Yeah, so right here, I calculated early as a good time to get into a buy position because it looks like it's going to break down. I guess I would short it if I could soon, but not quite. But that would be a buy point that I was looking at. XCP, check break of 410. Yeah, so basically you're looking for a break of this resistance area in here. You can see on this pattern how we've got this the declining average, the flattening out period, making this big resistance point up here. So it gives you a target for where to sell. And you play a break above here, so you get along at like say 42.70 maybe, and then you look to get out about 48. Like that's 15%. This is like these are some volatile, serious. I don't know what indexes. I don't know what to call them. Stocks are not stocks, but yeah, it's just this is one play that I'd be looking at. The next one, Neos, 2751 is the key 61 level. So let me just look for 2751. See, it's a nice looking chart for the most part. So we're looking at, so this area is a key point here. So now, if you want to go long, let me just take a look at this even more long term. So you can see what the situation, the first one I shown didn't have this situation in here where it was crashed a lot and it's just been rebounding. This other one's been going up from a long time, the first one that I shown. But in situation here, though, you make the big move from like 78.50 up to like 244. That's like tripling. Back down, settling, huge move. They got this big volatility as well when we take a look at, or volume, I should be stating, well, volatility as well. And now the consolidation pattern. I guess if we shorten this out, again, I'm not liking the soft. I'm getting better at it than when I was looking at it just a few minutes ago. But here's a situation where you've matched the top. And this is where I like a front weighted average better than a simple one. But man, this is looking good on a breakout pattern for sure. Definitely something to look into. And these are the types of ones to look into when you see not maybe more so when Bitcoin looks bearish, not so much when these charts look bullish. Combination of both, of course. But yeah, it's a decent looking chart. Game, choppy mess for now. So this is something to look at later on because it's something that looks like might be fun to trade. That's basically based on my writing what I think that means. Okay, so here's game. And this whole waiting for loading chart, but we can, so as far as its volatility, this is, I mean, this, we're only looking at a couple weeks here. We got a bottom of 2020 and a top of 26. That's 15% volatility right there. Huge. And there's some, I don't want to day trade, I don't think, but as far as, well, day trade is in like, in now and out like in a half hour or an hour kind of deal. Unless, of course, the market moves my way fast, other than that. But throwing that aside. You can see there's a lot of movements. See the choppy movements in here. Long term, there's really nothing to play on. Day trading, this might be a fun one to go at. It's got some decent volatility. Or volume, I should say. Made has got some better one. It's got 500 volume, it says. It says it's pretty high based on this chart anyway. 17913 is a key Fibonacci point on Made. So it's a moving chart. It's a lot of these charts are getting their asses kicked against the Bitcoin. And I'm just stay away from those ones. I mean, it's just not even worth it. If I can find some quote unquote inside info on anything that's a rock bottom prices, then maybe you might get me to listen, but I'm not, these ones are not. Okay, so within the number, what do we have for a number here? We have 17913, which is right in here. So that has been finding support within it. So failed move if it has a serious breakdown below this point. You can try to make a play breaking above this resistance to this top. There's a scenario there. And then breaking this resistance was probably going to be super strong. We got this high matches in with this one. So yeah, a break of this resistance is a good looking play for sure. And two more, NXO, whatever that means. It's a code. It's a stock code. Well, I don't know. It's not a stock. Now if I can find it. Well, anyway, with NXO, I guess look for a break of 80.92. And NAV, look for a big fall. NAV and NXO. This is where the levels are on the side. Now they should be, I was sorting it by, don't know what I was sorting it by. I can sort it by the code. That's the easiest one. So we got code NAV and NXO. Sorry for the delay. Did I do a typo? No, NAV right here. And it's probably NXC that I meant to type. Or maybe it's something like a P or L near the typo area. So NAV, this is the chart. Well, look for big fall. Okay. And yeah, look at the support here. So when I look for big fall, why I write this in is I haven't done the homework on it, but where do I expect it to fall to? Because I got to be pretty damn good at this. If I'm going to be making a risk that, hey, if I'm wrong with where it's going to fall and it keeps going lower, then I'm going to lose. And I don't want to lose. So that's just something to look for. Again, is the fall on that. And NX, I think it's NXC. The C and the O look familiar. And we're looking at, so NXC, let's just change that. 80.92. Yeah, right here. I'm looking at a break of this point here. This is Nexium, by the way. And when you look at this, I hate this chart program. I really, really do. Okay, so we look at this 18 average, a situation where it's gotten above it, supporting that level, and this is a huge resistance level area that, I mean, it's something you could consider even buying right now and then trying to ride up, but even under just, you break out above here, maybe look to get in, well, what's the return? You're looking at going from, say, 81 and 7 as an example. Getting out at about 85.6, that's a gain of about 4. That's half a 10, like 5%. When I say half a percent, I'm thinking for 10, because a lot of times when I do a trading, I usually never look for 1% gains. So that's why I'll count, say 10% as 1 at times. But that's just my talk that I use when I'm talking about this game. And I haven't played this in a while. The last site that I used, which was a Canadian financial institution one, was maybe about 10-20% better than this one. And I didn't use their charts either, but I need to find somewhere for charts. I'll definitely look in the comments section. I'll definitely be searching too. And yeah, what's okay, this is like 15 minutes. I thought this was going to be like 20 minutes. So I can just show maybe some of these dead charts while I'm here, because, well, Litecoin is dead. I mean, this is, when I'm looking at anything on the daily time frame, Well, this one here is not quite dead. It's got some play left in it. I mean, I see POT. I'm used to thinking potash back in the day and I actually did make 1 or 2 bets back in the day on potash. I think I can't remember. But you see, well, all this room up here. What is this? And that's a gain from up in here. So I'm just randomly looking. Okay, well, support looks like it's gonna fall. So you'd be looking at where to go. You got previous resistance area here. You probably want to calculate fib from here to here, but I'm not going to write anything on this one down. I should be looking more at volume and doing a lot of research in this, but I actually want to test, see if I can even bet something like 10 or 20 bucks on a trade. I think I could and still get because Bitcoin does all these different, look at all these decimals in which they work with. It's such a sick, beautiful numbers game. I love like 20 decimals if you can. It's a pretty cool thing. Hard to read, but awesome to work with and calculate and just... Anyway, other ones. Let's look at Litecoin, or one of the ones I know are not doing so well. This is LTC Litecoin. This is a dead stock chart. If you could tell me where the bottom is, then so be it, but I ain't going to try and find it. If this thing can get going and get active, maybe I can try to find some plays here and there, but it's a dead chart as far as I'm concerned. Dash is really popular, and I've heard some cool things about it, like this thing. Did I already talk about Dash already? I think I did. Yeah, I already talked about that one already. Cure Coin, it's got low volume. It says, yeah, I mean, you want to go with ones like, did I talk about GNT? It's got big volume, it says. Right here. I mean, what the heck is this? This is one big green candle. I need a new chart software, obviously. This is just crazy. Okay, well, this has been active for what, 2 days? I've seen a couple like this. I've probably already looked. I think I've seen this one already, but 2 days. I see February 18th on the left-hand side. That is just... Okay. So from its start, it's not starting off so well. Is there any short-term play within this curve higher? Let's take a look on the... I mean, how does it come out for 2 days and have a shitload of volume? How? I mean, this is just crazy. Well, I'm getting some different analysis here. I suppose you could... They have Fibonacci on here. It's just shit-ass bad. Okay. So 23.6. So this is a 38.2, which has been tested. So breaking above here, you can see, and see, this is what sucks about day trading, the very short term, is other people will see this. Well, it's still going to work, though. Other people see the same numbers as you. I like exponential Fibonacci, which is more beneficial when it's like 6, 7, 9, 10x from high to low, because then people don't see the numbers as I do, and it still works. It's like, I just like it better that way. Anyway, as far as your volatility is concerned, you break resistance at 3,000-ish. You're going up to 61.8, which is 33, so that's a 10% gain. Not bad. I mean, there's going to be a lot of risk in it. I've only known 2 days of history in it, but how does it have volume like so sick high and only be around? Like, you look at these 15-minute charts. They got good movements. It's something that has a lot of buyers and sellers, something I look for as a day trader, something I haven't done in years. Anyway, I'm going to end this video because it's about 20 minutes now, is it not? It would be, yes, right on 20. So thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.